driver's seat, it's the 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid. This vehicle was first seen in 2004. It's made in Kansas City, Missouri, and it's a true full hybrid, which means it switches from gas to electric automatically. Similar to the Toyota Prius, when you decelerate or brake, this car actually charges the battery. Right, Dennis?
You're right, Nick. Hybrid technology's been around from several different manufacturers. Obviously, Toyota and Honda have been at the top of mind awareness for several years. Honda has the hot rod version, their Honda Accord that's now been discontinued, and Toyota has the Prius, the look at me, I'm electric one. You know, the thing about it is, hybrids need to be under the radar. Yes, they're great for the economy. Yes, they're great for the environment, but you don't have to be, look at me. This Escape hits both those marks. It has great fuel efficiency and great use of space. It's a small sport utility that doesn't act or look like a hybrid. That's a big plus for me. We're going to look at the interior, but now let's look under the hood.
Now we have the hood open of the 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid. You can see inside, well, the hybrid engine, and this one you can actually get 400 to 500 miles on a single tank of gas, right?
Yeah, normally we open the hood to look under it, but you know what? I'm going to close the hood. Why? Because the biggest part of this hybrid is the way that it drives. Never before have I been so impressed that it didn't feel like a hybrid. I'm going to keep going back to that. The Accord, the Civic, the Prius, the Highlander all felt like they had that little bit of herky-jerkiness between the transition. I don't know how Ford's done it, but this vehicle does not drive or feel like a hybrid, but yet gives you the advantage of the excessive amount of fuel mileage and the very low emissions. You know, it's just a little two-wheel drive sport utility that really isn't designed to do anything more than run errands and drive down the street, but it does it very well. It knows its place, and it knows its job, and it knows how to do it well. Talking about the aesthetics of the Ford family, this new Ford Escape is just one more extension of that new family of very beefy, very muscular looking Fords, starting with the Super Duty right down to its, I guess, little cousin, the Ford Escape Hybrid. Nice angular lines that are attractive, yet still aerodynamic, cuts down on wind noise and things when you're on the freeway that can be kind of annoying. Also, nice tires and wheels, nice aggressive looks through the side of the vehicle, but it doesn't stop there, right, Nick?
That's true. In fact, this car is well designed. It looks luxurious, and the window tinting increasing in darkness as you go back is a signal of that, but also the subtle lines and a few things that are slightly different, like the molding on the bottom. That really makes this car stand out as something that's a little more. It's a squarer shape this time around, and I think that's going with the modern feeling of this vehicle. It looks nice, it feels nice, and it fits on the road today.
Moving to the interior, all the things that we've talked about on the outside are bearing true. Very useful ideas both on the front, I'll get to that in a minute, but also in the back as far as passenger and cargo equipment. Right, Nick?
Absolutely. This car gives you what you expect. For a long time, Ford didn't quite match everybody else's technology and comfort on the interior, but now they do. This seat is firm, it's nicely balanced. They've started to take a few cues from Land Rover, which Ford owned. They have the stadium-style seating in the back here. I can actually see over the driver's head. They also have power jacks in the back, and of course, the MP3 plug-in. These are all necessities in the modern SUV.
Seat. The best part of this SUV, again, is the fact that it doesn't have to say, I'm a hybrid. There's one little gauge that says charge and assist, and it'll tell you what the engine and charging system is doing while you're driving throughout either highway roads or you're stuck in traffic on the interstate. You know, this vehicle gives you a lot of creature comforts. I like the fact that the HVAC controls, as far as the readout, is up high, right up on the dash. So you don't have to look down to see what everything is doing. Those controls are also very easy to use and manipulate, as well as the great audio and navigation system. You also have a lot of room on the interior. Again, I always go back to my size. I got long legs, I can stretch out in this vehicle, and you know what? I drove this vehicle the week I had it over 600 miles, and not once was I not comfortable in this very seat.
We've looked all around the outside of the Ford Escape Hybrid, and Dennis, give me 2 ups and 1 down.
Well, the first one's going to be styling. If you look at the sides, the overall lines in the front end, it has the ties to the Super Duty line from the Ford F-350, and I think that looks great. I think it's a great tie between its big brother and kind of the city cousin. The other is the drive. You know, you don't know it's a hybrid unless someone told you, or if you notice that you were driving up to 25 miles an hour without the gas engine running. My down would be is, though this is only a 2-wheel drive, I don't know if the 4-wheel drive is going to be a strange price jump or how it's going to fit into the market. I know that time will tell, but for me, I think I just buy the 2-wheel drive. Why buy the 4-wheel drive?
And I absolutely disagree with you on this one. I think if you're going to buy a small SUV, one of the things you really want is a 4-wheel drive, probably before you want the hybrid version. But let me tell you about my 2 ups and 1 down for this vehicle. Now, my first up is the interior technology. For the first time, I'm really seeing great technology, which you've seen in the Prius for years, where you can see how much gas you're actually using, where the power is going, where the power has been taken from. And a lot of times in these hybrids and the American-made hybrids, you've never been able to see that. They've not put it on a screen in front of you. So that's a big up for this vehicle. My other up is kind of strange for this vehicle, but it's a real Ford overall thing, and that is Ford have started to get a little more adventurous. No longer do the cars come in the same plain standard shape and style. They're branching out a little. New colors on the interior, new colors on the exterior, new styling. So I think the company is making some leaps forward, and that's as far as styling is concerned. My down for this vehicle, and it's kind of a strange down, is the fact that I think in the exterior of the vehicle, at the back end, there's nothing new. There's nothing to look at. It's very square, it's very boxy, and I'd like to see a little more of the new and modern styling up front transferred to the rear.
I guess that's why we do this segment. He has one opinion, I have another, and we don't always agree.
Here are the guys that make miles around possible. The Russ Auto Group, Baxter Auto Parts, Northside Ford, Ray Reese Dealerships, 4 Wheel Parts Performance Center, Grand Prix Imports, and J. Lee's Auto Group. Thanks, guys.